Queer women, have you ever noticed how money can make or break a relationship? Because it makes or breaks the peace in a relationship. Especially in queer relationships, it's like, oh, who's paying for what? Is this going to be 50-50? How are we able to support ourselves and each other? What if marriage is overturned and like healthcare and all the things that we have to issue because being queer can cost more. It just can. Today's episode, we're gonna talk about money. And if money makes you feel uncomfortable, I challenge you to listen because you're going to hear so much beauty and like spiritual woo-woo magic, but also practicality when it comes to managing money. And we talk about dating. There's so much goodness in this episode. Today's guest is a money coach. A queer money coach. But before we get into talking about her life update, I've been traveling so much. I dated someone near Miami and spent a lot of time in Florida this last year. Then I spent a lot of time on the West Coast, and now I'm feeling so grounded here in my rainbow wall back at home, getting prepared for the new year ahead. I am so excited. We have had the most beautiful luxury lesbian retreats at Canyon Ranch. If you are interested in meeting the most incredible, established, beautiful women in the world, come with me. Let's hang out in person. Let's go to Canyon Ranch together, get pampered at the world-renowned spa and wellness resort, and meet other incredible single lesbians. We are about to share that we will be doing one more in this upcoming new year. I'm gonna give myself a break to rest and reset, but if you wanna get on the wait list for that, or if we've opened it, I'm not sure when this podcast is gonna air, DM me the word getaway. And let's see if you're a good fit for the getaway. We interview every single woman that comes on this trip, so you'll DM me getaway, and we'll get on a call and see if you're a good fit to come on the retreat. Between matchmaking, between speed dating mixers, it's very clear emotional and financial security go hand in hand. I made a little note here I don't want to forget. Half the women I work with come to me and they say, Sophia, I don't care about money. And usually these women have made so much money at this point. They're like, I don't care about money. It is about finding my person. It is about finding my best friend. It is about being happy. As long as the woman that you bring to me in Private Matchmaking or the woman I meet in Queer Country Club is passionate about something, that's good enough for me. Awesome. But typically, there's two different types of women. And the other half says, I want a financial equal. I want my power couple other half. And they might say something pretty rigid, like, Sophia, I make $300,000 a year. I expect my partner to at least make $100,000 a year. Or Sophia, I make $2 million a year. I expect my partner to be bringing in $500,000. Wherever you're at, I want you to know when you come to me with this, I understand and I'm not judging you. Many of you come to me with this expectation because you've been used by women in the past, and you want to make sure that you've got someone who's going to contribute to a big, beautiful life together. So I completely validate this, whether you're coming to me as like the daddy. I got my clients who are literal royalty, and they do not care what you financially bring to the table. I have clients who are making $80,000 a year, and they're like, yeah, it would be nice for my partner to equally bring that in. But again, if you're giving me any sort of standard as what someone needs to make, I do not judge you for that. I have a feeling you just want someone who's putting in the effort, and you want to feel that too. And that's not a bad thing. So I just want to start that episode with this. If you're looking for a true partner, I'm the matchmaker for the job. Go to queercountryclub.com and tap on private matchmaking, and let's book a consultation and let's talk so we can get you your power couple, your purpose couple, other half. Today, me and my guests are definitely longing for our power and purpose couple, other half. And that comes with someone who's like doing the emotional work and who's also taking care of themselves, even in their finances. The spectrum is wide, but the one thing that I see again and again is like financial values matter, just like spiritual, political values matter. But let's get into the financial values. Today's guest, Haley let me see if I could say her name. Okay, Kowalewski. Haley Kowalewski knows exactly why that's true. She's the founder of FEM Financial Coaching, where she helps women build wealth, confidence, and freedom. From climbing the corporate ladder in LA to creating a global financial empowerment movement, Haley is on a mission to make money simple and money sexy. We're diving into the real cost of being queer, how to talk about money, and knowing your net worth, how that can strengthen your love life. Because when you feel empowered and you feel in control of your finances, you can feel empowered to reach out in the DMs to somebody. You can feel empowered to go on a first date. You can feel empowered because you know what you're capable of and you're showing up as the best version of you that is being financially responsible. So, welcome to the show, Haley.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here and talking with you.
It's going to be a blast. So, as you know, I put the L in LGBTQ. I always start, what letter of the alphabet soup are you?
That is so funny. I don't know if my letter's even on there. I would say I'm pan, but very much have historically primarily dated women. So,
Ah, okay, good for you. Do you feel like you're pan where like you could see yourself ending up with the guy one day potentially, or you know you want to end up with a woman, or it really doesn't matter? You have no idea.
I don't know. I feel like at different parts of my life, if you would have asked me that question, it has changed. But I, at this point in my life, see myself as like a wife, a woman's wife, and
Yeah,
that's kind of where I'm at.
that's the vibe.
Of the alphabet, probably queer is what I most relate to, just in general.
Yeah. Okay. Feels good. Whatever feels good. So many people, like when I talk to matchmaking clients, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm just gay. I don't like to like say another letter." And then I've heard gay guys be like, "No, that's our letter." So it's kind of like whatever just feels right for you. But yeah, I never thought about that. Pan isn't in
I
the
know I had that thought recently too, but I guess yeah, that's why I like queer as just an umbrella term.
yes.
Yeah, I like women, and then randomly I love trans men.
Yeah, well, they feel more safe, that's for sure.
Maybe that's it. Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, I love my trans sisters. We have some trans women inside of Queer Country Club. So
amazing. Yeah, I can't wait to learn all about Queer Country Club. By the way, I think it's such an amazing community that you're building. So
thank
very cool.
you. It is special. Okay, so I want to know about what you're doing though. My audience has no idea what you do, who you are. Well, maybe they just heard a snippet in my introduction, but how did you get here?
Yeah, so I'm Haley. I'm the founder of Fem Financial Coaching, and basically what I do is I teach finance to more marginalized communities, so women, people of color, LGBTQ plus IA, and my goal is to help get money in the hands of people who are going to do good things with it because historically we've never been taught about this. So I teach everything from budgeting to saving to investing to debt management to credit, and I absolutely love what I do. Like it's very a heart-based, heart-run business, and I've been doing it since 2020 is when I started.
Wow, what a time to start. Oh
Yes.
my gosh. Was it like rocky trying to start a business during COVID, or did you feel like it was exactly what the world needed?
That's such a good question. So, a lot of things led up to the business. First of all, not knowing anything about money growing up. I think that that's really common. I find it more rare to find someone who was taught about money than find someone who wasn't taught about money. And so, basically, I was in a career, I was making good money, I had no idea what to do with it. And in 2019, I started dabbling in learning about personal finance. And then in 2020 is when I was having a breakup. It was a long breakup of a relationship I was in for about 5 years. And I'd been pouring so much of myself into that, trying to make it work, that when we broke up, I had all of this energy and I was like, okay, well, I've been learning about money. I'm really interested in that. So I started just posting everything I was learning online and it just grew from there. But I had this idea during COVID. I was like, this is the most downtime that so many people have had. Like, yes, there was so much going on, in the US and globally and everything. But I had this thought that there are going to be so many businesses that come out of this time where people have the time to like kind of reset and be like, what do I want to do? I have, this space. And so that's when I started it.
That's amazing. Okay, I have to know because to me, breakups bring like the rebirth of yourself or birth of something totally new. what happened in this relationship that was like, okay, time to end something for that's lasted 5 years. I mean, that's a long time. That's a lot of commitment.
Yeah, so it was an amazing relationship and an amazing partner, and I thought that she would be my forever. But we were young, you know. I met her when I was 22, she was 21, and unfortunately, her family was more homophobic, and so we were in a hidden relationship for about 4.5 of those years. And then by the end, I was like, okay, we got to start bringing people in and telling. And it kind of just blew up. And when COVID hit too, we were living apart. I went back home to Sacramento. She was in San Diego. And she's like, I honestly need to repair what I have with my family. And they were just not on board with it. So we just decided to part ways. But it was pretty rough.
Oh, that is so painful. And honestly, not far. I've been in love with women in the closet, and it's been the most terrible pain ever. Have you ever dated someone who was fully out and like been in a relationship?
After that, I dated someone who was also incredible for 2 years. She was just like the most amazing partner as well, and was like a really healing relationship because I felt like she was so proud to be with me and like show me off versus before it was such a hidden relationship. And I felt like not that she was ashamed of me, but like couldn't post me on socials, nothing like that. So to have that complete flip was really nice. And yeah, again, like an amazing human, just wasn't my person.
Yeah. Okay. Now that we're here, because I thought we were going to talk about something else first, but while we're here, I have to know, as the luxury lesbian matchmaker, I always want to know what makes someone tick, what's on their future wife or future partner wish list. What is on yours? Like, what's the non-negotiable?
It's so tough because I'm a very much an energy person because along with teaching finance, I also teach yoga. I'm very woo. I'm very like into all of that. So
Uh,
really a vibe. I used to be like, okay, I want this. It's pretty big. Like I do really want someone who's out, and I want someone who's a little bit more maybe established in their career just because I am. However, I say that, and recently started dating someone who's not either or like who's still building and is still kind of new in their sexuality, and it's been such a beautiful start to whatever we're doing right now so far. And so I'm like, okay, I want these things, but then I'm like meeting someone we just like are connecting. So
uh,
um but I think just somebody who like can make the little moments in life so fun is like a big thing for me. So I need someone who's fun, someone who's a little fiery, who challenges me. If you're into astrology, I'm an Aquarius rising, so I need somebody who's like, hey, systems are broken, we can change the world, make it positive. Like that's I need someone who like engages my mind, I would say. Like that's my
mm,
really big thing. And then who takes care of themselves. Like I teach yoga, like I'm really into health and wellness, I'm really into spirituality, into all of that. So something that aligns with those things would be really nice. And if they happen to make good money, that's amazing. But as I posted before, like it's I got into finance so that I could support a partner in the event that they aren't there, you know?
that's really beautiful. I definitely see so many different perspectives and desires when it does come to like what do I want in a partner when I'm coming in and I get to choose and I get to really decide when you're in private matchmaking, like don't even bring me somebody who isn't, doing this or that. And I kind of have like a split when it comes to my matchmaking clients. Like this is just random, but I feel like I should share because you're about my age. The women who come in who are our age, who are like kicking ass like us, like working our booties off and like wanting to have a great life, most actually come saying, I need a partner who's a financial equal because I'm still young. And even though I'm doing well, like I'm working so hard and I don't want to like just fund someone else. Like
Yeah.
that tends to be the thing. So like what you're saying is really beautiful because like that's a rare thing I hear from women our age. The older women, when I get like over 40, I'd say 20% are like, I'll be daddy. And the
Mhm.
rest are like, she has to like just bring something to the table. Like literally, she could bring a chair, just like make sure it has all the legs on it. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
don't care how much you make at all. But most women who come in my age, like the ones that like are executives or own their own businesses, they're like, she's got to at least make 200,000 too, or at least make 150. If they're making like 500,000, they're like, this is my minimum. This is my minimum.
Mhm.
So I think that's really interesting and rare for someone our age to be like, I'm okay with like being the provider. Like, could you see yourself having a housewife like that traditional or no?
No, I kind of want to be a house. I want to be wifey too. So it's tough. Like, but I think it's probably similar to you. Similar to you is I love working. Like I feel like I am here to be of service to people. So I never see
Yes.
myself. but I want to be able to be in a position financially where I get to choose how much and in what capacity I'm working. And
Yeah.
so I want to take some time off. But again, ideally, like you can ask me at different points in my life. Maybe a year ago, I'd be like, no, they have to be making at or more. But I've also been in that relationship where they were making more than me. And it was so beautiful. It was so fun. She paid for everything, but then I got a little bored. So I need like a little bit of me also like bringing stuff to the table too. So it really depends. I
I
don't
love
know.
it. When you say bored though, I wanted to like, were you bored because like she was too good to you kind of thing? Or like bored because you weren't like stimulating yourself to go out and make more money?
It was more of bored of like she was an amazing person. Again, I never want to talk bad about anybody I dated because I always date like I feel like I attract really amazing people into my world. It
Yeah.
was just I think at that time I just turned 30. I still had so much more life I wanted to live, and I think she was more ready to settle. So I was getting bored of like I want to go travel, I want to go do all of these things, and we were gonna do that. But it was like she was more of like I want to move in, maybe we get engaged soon, all of that. Like I was just feeling that, and I don't think I was ready for that. Like
Ah,
and then this year, for example, in 2025, well, like last year when we broke up, I went to Bali. This year alone, I've been to Brazil, I've been to Japan. I just took my mom to Africa. Like I want to go do things and live, and like that's kind of where I'm at.
that makes so much sense. Do you think if you met the right person, you'd be like, okay, now I'm ready to settle down? Or no, like you still don't have that desire to like, hey, we're gonna live together and
Oh, for the right person, for sure. I'm definitely like that's been 2 years since that last breakup, I think, almost. I don't really know. And so like at this point, yeah, I mean, I'm like 32. If I find the right person, I'm ready to be like, all right, that's it.
yeah, I honestly think that's what it is, no matter what age someone is, whether you're 55 or 25. What I hear is like, oh, I didn't want to with this person, but when I meet the right person. So it's actually, from what I've understood in my job, hearing this every day, it's less about not wanting to be in the stage of life and more about, hey, you're not my person. So like
Yeah, and
the
it kind of
desire's not there. Yeah. Because like honestly, if someone is like, you're gonna be able to do both. Like
yeah,
there's
no,
a reason why I
I
can't settle
100%.
down and travel, right? Like I'm
Yeah, that's my thing with making similar amounts is like I foresee myself being with a partner who's like, well, let's go travel, let's go do these things. Like I want to build something. I feel like I have maybe even another business in me in the future. And I've thought about like maybe doing that with a partner. Like I want a big life, I want to do things and make an impact. And so it's just like, but then again, a connection's a connection. So it's been really interesting. But I think that's what dating's about is like dating different people and seeing what you like. And yeah.
finding the connection. Yeah, I totally get it though. I'm looking for the power couple other half, like every minute of every day. I'm like I just want someone to grab my arm, like let's lock arms. And I know God put a dream in my heart to be like the Tony Robbins of lesbians, but yeah, I'm looking for my sage. I am looking for my sage.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so what is the big dream and big goal with your company now? Like what are you doing that's impacting people so much and like where are you taking it?
Yeah, I really like where my business is at because for me, it provides a lot of financial freedom where I can go and travel. I just want to continue. Right now, I feel like I am a little bit more niche to higher income women. And so it's like women who have like bossed up in their career, they're like making good money, and then they're like, shit, I never learned how to manage this money. That's really where I'm kind of headed. I used to be more of a generalist of like working with everybody, and now I'm kind of niching down and specializing. And what that allows me to do is just go a little bit deeper and work
Yeah.
with people on a more strategic level because we just have more money to work with. So that's probably where I'm going to continue bringing the business because I really enjoy working with women who are like doing all like really cool things like within their careers and with themselves. And I love working with like yeah, working moms as well, like helping them build out a financial freedom path where they don't have to work all the way into their 60s, where they get to support their kids. Um, yeah, and then business wise, I would love to do more things like this. I was on a podcast last week. I'm on this one, and so I'm just trying to become, I guess, a little bit more commercial and get my name out there so maybe I can be a go-to source for other media platforms, things like that. That'd be really fun as well.
That's amazing. Oh, beautiful. I have clients from like every range. Like I have beautiful teachers who come to me for matchmaking, and I have like literal Middle Eastern royalty that come to me for matchmaking. If there's someone in between who's making that money, right? Like they're kicking ass, they're executives in their career, and they know they need help from you. How can they get in touch with you, and where would you tell them to start?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of different questions, but how they can get in touch with me is either on via TikTok or on Instagram, just sliding into my DMs or sending me an email. And basically, what I do with clients is I hop on a call just like this and just get a feel for what are their financial goals, where are they facing some challenges, and then like how I can support them. So that's like the first step is I call it a virtual coffee chat. Like let's get to know each other, make sure I'm the best coach for you too, because I want like you to succeed as my client. And then first place to start is when I'm working with somebody, I teach what's called my aligned money method. The first thing is alignment, which is what are you doing right now that's not in alignment with where you're trying to go with your finances, with your future, and then like what are you trying to do? Like so that's first place is like alignment. Then I do what does it cost to be you? So what's your income versus what are you spending, and is that feeling good, or do we need to? So I teach all my clients how to budget and how to organize their systems and build a really strong financial foundation so they know how much cash to keep, how to get out of debt. I get my clients out of debt a lot faster than they thought was even possible. And then once they're out of debt and they have a good foundation, I teach them how to invest. And then the last part of it is I call this turning up the dial is like how can we build up your money plan to have you retiring with hundreds of thousands, in some of my clients' cases, even over $1 million more, and retiring years earlier than you even thought you could. So that's how I work with clients. But step one is just like where meet you where you're at. Like where are you getting stuck right now? Is it mindset? Is it budget? Is it debt? Is it investing? Well, let's work with that.
And like, okay, just practical, like not to
Mhm.
put you on the spot. I just want to know, like right now, I've got a CPA, I've got a bookkeeper, I've got a stockbroker. It is so complex to work with all of them. And I'm like paying out of my ass to ask my CPA like all these questions that I could be asking ChatGPT when ChatGPT gives me a better answer. But I feel like if I could have someone like you who would like be able to answer
Yeah.
all the things, like are you able to do that? And like, yeah, like I know there's like legalities around money stuff. I know you're running a legit business, but like what do you call yourself to be able to do it? And do you like work with someone's CPA or do you do it like how does that
Yeah,
work?
so I'm not a CPA and I'm not an advisor, so I can't take your money and invest it for you. I'm education. And I also, when you're working with an advisor, a lot of times they don't get into the numbers with you of like how do you build out a budget. So I'm literally teaching you how do we budget. I have a planner that I use that all of my clients really love. It's an amazing tool. And I have my clients, for example, manually track their expenses for 3 months because that's how we can see what's really coming in, what's really going out, what are your habits, and then how much is left over so that we can be investing to be more strategic. So for someone like you who's a business owner, it depends if you're LLC or if you're an S corp.
Mhm.
But I have like a business planner to track business expenses versus personal. And then what we would do is we would, as a business owner, there are accounts like a solo 401k or a SEP IRA that'll actually reduce your taxable income. That would have you prioritize investing. But taking it one step further is how much do you need to be investing to hit your goals? Because a lot of
Mhm.
people don't know that number. They're like, I think I'm investing. I'm doing 3% or 4% to my 401k. I'm like, you're actually under investing. So if you continue just doing this amount, you're going to be working until you're 65, 70 versus if we can get you closer to 15% or 20% of your income investing, you could probably become work optional by 50, 55, something like that. So we would work with like, how can we make a plan? So as long as you're hitting these numbers investing wise, I don't care what you're spending,
Yeah.
like obviously be reasonable, but you need to know what do I even aim for per month.
Yeah. And
That's
with
how I.
what that's so good with what's going on in the world, like my
Mhm.
stockbroker's like you need to invest more and I'm like, okay, but I'm scared because
Yeah.
like what happens if you take like what you work for, the little bit of extra you have after I have a team of 10, right? Like I'm paying a team of 10. Um after I pay everybody, what's left over for me to live on and invest in whatever, I'm like, I'm scared, so scared to invest, right? I do, but it feels really scary. What do you have to say to anyone who's worried about investing during these times that are
Yeah.
really turbulent?
Well, there's a couple of things there. First off, when I hear I'm scared to invest, usually comes down to like lack of education around investing. So the first step is like let's educate you on like the history of the market, what you're actually investing your money in, and how to diversify your portfolio. Because if you look at historic rates of returns for like what you're investing in, it might alleviate some of that fear and also like make you, because if you're like having somebody else invest for you, it's kind of like it's out of control still. It's like I don't really know what they're doing and why. That's where someone like me comes in and I'm educating you why they're doing what they're doing with your portfolio. And once you get a little bit more comfortable with that, you need to also understand you're so young. So you have a lot of time to wait out the ups and downs of the stock market. And so it's like a really powerful place for you to be in, which is why I feel like invest. while you're younger and be a little bit more aggressive with what you're choosing. And then just note if there happens to be a pullback where or a correction, which happens, it's happened historically, it's going to happen again. If you have a little bit of extra cash, it could be a good time to put in a little bit more because the market, quote unquote, is on sale. And you have to also look at who's leading the market right now. It's all of these AI companies, chip makers, and they're really profitable right now versus like the dot-com bubble, which happened in like '01, where the market crashed. It's like these companies weren't really turning a profit. So the market is leading right now by companies that are actually doing pretty well. And so, and then the last thing of like what's going on globally, like, I mean, and even in the US, I mean, we're at such an interesting time. Like we have SNAP benefits that are about to be lost for millions of people, but yet markets at all-time highs. So it's this like weird duality that we're living in of like, what are the rich people doing? But also like the gap is incredibly widening right now. Like we're at this time. I don't know if that helped answer, but something else that did come to mind that you said is I'm paying all these people and then whatever I have left over goes to me. A really good book
Not
I'd
even like whatever I pay myself is, yeah,
A book I would encourage you to just read, to look into. It's called Profit First. And it's this idea that business owners are running their businesses for 10, 15, 20 years. And you're like, when can you step away? When can you retire? And you're like, oh, actually, I can't because I wasn't investing enough. So it's actually making sure you're investing enough before you're paying all the people. Like you're paying yourself first before we're paying all the people. And like that's how we just want to make sure you're doing that so that you're setting yourself up for the most success, which I think you will regardless because like it sounds like you know how to make money. And that's the hardest thing to teach somebody is like, how do you make money? I can help you manage it, but like that income piece,
oh
but
yeah.
just
No, I
use
was a
like,
business coach before I did this and like social media strategist. So I'm pretty solid on that and providing the most excellent service. It's a matter of, oh God, it's tax time and like I need to make sure that I'm putting everything right in the SEP, the IRA, whatever.
yes,
Like,
exactly.
and this is all foreign language to me. And for me to be an expert in what I do every day and help my clients, I cannot focus on this. And so
Yeah.
I love that there's someone like you that's able to do this. Very, very cool.
And what's really nice too is someone like me is we set it up one time and then you just know what you have to hit moving forward. It doesn't even take that long to do like 1 to 2 months of working together. You know exactly like how much I need to be aiming for. And then if you ever have a big life change or like, oh, I had an influx of money, meeting, being like, what do I do with it? And then you're good to go. It's like little checkup calls after that. But but you need to stay in your zone of genius, which is like the service that you're providing. So
Yes. No, it's so good. And I know there's other women who are out there who are successful who listen to this show and who are probably thinking, I need to call Haley. So thank you for being here and sharing that. I want to also talk about the cost of being queer, especially as we look at the Supreme Court considering hearing to overrule gay marriage. This is really, really scary for us. We're recording this October 29th. This will come out probably actually in the new year, I think. So I don't know where we're at when this episode comes out. I don't know if we're gonna be like in hell and high water or if, we need over four judges to sign against gay marriage, sign against hearing the case, right? From what I understand.
out hearing the case.
Right. So there's a chance that we don't have to worry about anything, but also the fact that this is even coming up is extremely scary. The cost of being queer, from dating to women splitting things, not just expecting a man to pay for it, healthcare, housing, yeah, healthcare when you're not able to marry someone. Like this is all things that we could have to face all over again. What would your advice be to queer women?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is you can't ignore your finances because it can be so easy to do that. But money at the end of the day is power. Money is choices. Money is opportunities. Money is getting out of situations or rooms that you're not comfortable in and you need to get out of if they're not suiting you or serving you. And so, like, one of the most important things is like you have to protect yourself and you have to protect your community. And if you learn about money, not keeping that to yourself, but sharing the information so you can help others in our community learn as well. So what that can be is making sure that you're setting yourself up to build an emergency fund, or in the event that I don't think anything will get overturned. I actually think that we have a lot of support on both sides for our community. But it's just like so unnecessary that this is even getting brought back.
Right, right.
But at the end of the day, money is protection. And so like being smart with your money, learning how to grow it, building that foundation of like your emergency fund and plus a little bit extra in case you do need to leave the country, making sure you have your passport, things like that. Again, that's like a little doomsday-y, but at the end of the day, like when more queer people have money, that's when we're able to make more changes, more positive changes. That's what kind of what I have to say on it.
Okay, real quick, I need to tell you about Wisp, an online healthcare service that is for the girls, gays, theys, and me. In fact, for 3 years, they have been a part of my daily regimen. I know many of you listening long to create beautiful, women loving women relationships. And that, my dears, begins with excellent kitty care. Like, no offense, I don't know about you, but I personally don't want to be at a kitty cat cafe, if you know what I mean, that doesn't provide the freshest dessert for me to lick. So do unto others as you'd have them do unto you, and keep your kitty cat cafe fresh. With Wisp, everything from the consult to receiving meds is done from the comfort of your phone, and the company is proud of being inclusive, cost-effective, and accessible for everyone. Wisp believes that you know your body better than anyone else, which means no more urgent care visits for issues such as UTIs, yeast infections, or STI treatment. You can save so much time not going to in-person appointments or waiting in line at pharmacies. The free shipping will save you so much time. Or same-day pharmacy pickup can have you feeling better faster. Before Wisp, I was prone to getting BV, but my kitty pH balance stays perfect. Chef's kiss now that I am on a consistent probiotic regimen. Ladies, this is so important. Personally, I subscribe monthly to Wisp Probiotics, Sexy Time Lube, and OMG Cream. It's like female Viagra. I also get D-mannose and boric acid vaginal suppositories as needed, so I'm prepared if something starts to fill off down there. Also, if you're about to meet a new partner from my lesbian dating platform, you definitely want to be tested before sleeping with someone new. You can order discreet online testing from your bed before you jump into bed. Go to the link in the show notes to learn more, or go to hellowisp.com and use my code SOPHIA for 15% off. That's code SOPHIA, SOPHIA, for 15% off all your kitty needs. You're welcome. Okay, back to the show. So good, so good. I often hear people say, like, if the world's coming to an end, put the lesbians in charge, put them on the front lines. Like, they know how to get the job done for everything. They're the most organized. I really think that we have the ability to make more money, have more organized lives, have more beautiful houses, have more better behaved children, like everything better than the average straight people. Do you agree, or do you feel like lesbians are behind? Because I get it. I started a queer country club so we could put the quality women with the growth mindsets all in one room. Um, so I do see how, yeah, there can be like this like sad population where it's like, oh, let's come on guys, let's get it together. But I do think for the most part, like lesbians are the most empowered demographic ever when they step into their power. You have a
Yeah.
lot of clients, or like, do you see this in clients or?
Honestly, it's still very mixed. I think the reason why is we just honestly haven't had as much representation of power queer couples, especially
Yeah.
lesbian couples. So, I've worked with a lot of lesbian couples, and they just are like, still really just like anybody, like, oh, I don't know what to do. So I think that showing how you can work together and be a power couple, like that's what's going to help uplift everybody too. At the time, this time, I still like feel like there's not so much representation. So I would love to see more women of power, more lesbians, like talking about like what they're doing with their money and raising this kind of awareness and normalizing these conversations too, and just making sure like we're lifting everybody up. Yeah, I don't know if that was your question, but hopefully that helped a little bit.
No, it's so important. Like representation in general. Like when you were a kid, did you see yourself represented? Were you able to identify you weren't straight?
No, I had no idea because I was like, when I thought of, I mean, the lesbians that I saw, growing up, were like more, I guess, I don't know, it was like Ellen DeGeneres and things like that. There weren't like these like power lesbian couples that I saw that much. There really just wasn't. But I feel like that's changing so much now, especially with social media and with TikTok. Like I'm like so deep into WLW like TikTok right now. So I'm like, damn, there's all these amazing, powerful, beautiful women. Like, I just hope that they continue to share their joy and their love and like what they're doing
Yeah, because they're
because
like doing really cool things.
they're
And
doing really cool things. Yeah.
I think in dating, like in dating and finding friendships, and if you're a business owner, finding clients, like you can get into the mindset of like, oh my gosh, like no one has their shit together because that is often what we see. But if you put yourself in the rooms and at the tables with women who have their shit together and you start to see evidence of like, oh, there are power couples that exist. There are couples that have been together for 20 years that still talk to each other with so much respect. There are couples who are taking these dream vacations and building their dream homes together. And knowing like what is actually possible for you is it just kind of brings the life back into you after you've been swiping on a dating app, being like, what's going on? I'm discouraged.
Yeah, I really like that you said that there are people doing it. You just have to, if you're not seeing that represented, which I don't think is your community because they found you, it's just like, who's in my circle? Because there
Right.
are, again, people doing such amazing things. So that's why it's so important to continue like showing up and just getting more people aware of what is possible. And then where I come in is just like trying to emphasize that financial literacy is sexy. Getting your shit together is sexy. Knowing about money is like really powerful. So like don't be scared of it, but imagine like as a business owner, as somebody working in your career and knowing about money, like how powerful that can be for you. Yeah.
Yeah. I think like talking about success and money becomes like a taboo thing in the queer community because often we've been so marginalized by the powers that be. And so it's like talking about it like does not make you one of them. Like it doesn't make you the bad guy in the political world. And in order for like for you and me to provide a good service, we have to make money to be able to pay our teams, to be able to provide continue to provide the service. So that's something that I find like really interesting to talk about and like that I want to say out loud is like I do run a business. Like there's no way that I could be doing this for free. You could not have a dating club with this quality, this code of conduct that we enforce if we couldn't fund it, if we couldn't fund our AI matching, if I couldn't pay my co-matchmakers. So all of this is so important. Like money isn't a dirty word. It costs to sit at the table with the right people.
Yeah, exactly. You can't change the system from being outside. Like you have to get in, infiltrate. That's why I'm like, well, you can't avoid investing and it historically we've told like, oh, going after becoming wealthy maybe is bad or rich people are bad. If you have this mindset and then you sit down to work on your finances, you're never going to stick to it because you have this subconscious block that having money is going to make you a bad person. So it's really challenging that and reframing it of like, no, when I have more money, I'm able to help more people, my community gets better. Like that,
Absolutely.
I think the reframes are some and the thoughts that are going on subconsciously are what people need to examine about them. So, like, where are these thoughts coming from? What was I told about money growing up? But how do I actually like what's actually the truth? Because you can't change the world if you have no money, unfortunately.
Right. And I'm never going to like pity and let you be the victim. Not on my watch, not my client. Like at the end of the day, like you have the power to change your life. We all start at different places of privilege. 100% we can recognize that. But at the end of the day, we all have opportunities to keep climbing and keep doing better for ourselves and be that queer woman that is rising. I think money only amplifies who you are and what's already inside. I say like in relationships when I'm coaching, it's like, okay, whatever's in your cup. If someone bumps me and my cup, that love of God is going to spill out. But if I haven't tapped into that and I've been having an issue in my interpersonal relationships or with my family and someone bumps into me, they may not get the patient, gentleness, fruits of the spirit that I want to spill out of my cup, right? And so I think the more we have money, it just amplifies who we are and what's already in our cup. If we're generous, we're able to be more generous. If we are doing things that are selfish with money, then we continue to do things that are selfish. But
Yeah.
it's just an extension of who we are. It's just an energy. Can you get into the woo-woo of that? Because I feel like you're like holding it in a little bit.
No, but I love that analogy that you said of bumping in, like whatever's in your cup is what's going to fill out. That's like I use that all the time. So I love that.
Really? Stop. I've
That's
never
like
heard
one of
anyone
my
else.
most. It's one of my most favorite things. That's why I'm like, I think a lot of people are just reacting to things that are going on. But if you start from a place of like, how do I feel with myself? Am I grounded? Then, and I'm acting out of love, then any action that you take is going to be from this place, right? But if you're starting from a place of like chaos or whatever, any action you take is not going to be, it's that's like that's so yeah. Basically, I think you get what I'm saying. But also,
Yeah.
what I'm going to say of the woo woo is like money is energy, right? And sometimes if you're feeling like stuck, sometimes I mean, I highly recommend, trying to invest in yourself. Sometimes money takes the form of education or a plan or inspiration. So, and it could be a negative energy if you're looking at your bank account and you're feeling that too. It's just taking notice of that. So that's can be the woo-woo part of it too. But also like trying to reframe because it's kind of goes back to abundance versus scarcity. It's really hard to build wealth if you have a scarcity mindset. It's just going to take you a lot longer. So it's like, how can I reframe? How can I start seeing the opportunities that are around me? How can I start building connections that are going to help me get to where I'm trying to go? Things like that. How am I feeling about myself? Because when you start pouring into yourself of like, how do I look? How do I feel? You're going to be able to call in more wealth as well.
Absolutely. When I was business coaching, one of the things that I got canceled for 2 years ago was saying if you're gonna sell a high ticket item on the internet, put on some fucking mascara and lip gloss and a blazer. And women were like, I make millions in my underwear in Hawaii. And I was like, that's fine for you. That's your brand. But like show up as the best version of yourself, whatever that brand is, right? Like there's a reason I show up every day polished because I'm speaking to women who are also polished and like have their shit together for the same reason I keep my rainbow wallpaper behind me, right? It's just being the best version of myself representation. Again, I don't want to get canceled again. So let me explain. You don't need to wear any makeup to be beautiful. That's not what we're saying here. Just put yourself together, show up. If you're going ask for a job, wear a blazer rather than a tank top. Like it's just some basic human knowledge. Like we live in a world that's a game, and at the end of the day, you got to play it. Like no matter how much we don't want to, sometimes you have to. And when you play it with the best intention. What I mean by that is, I don't just show up to look a certain way to just attract a certain client. I show up because if I show up in this best version of myself, I actually become a better leader every day for my team by dressing up every single day,
Yeah.
getting on camera every single day. I show my clients that I respect them and the time that they're taking to do this matchmaking consultation with me, right? By looking put together. You getting on this camera and like you being on brand and just having like a fresh background. I'm not seeing like crazy shit behind you. Like there's these little things and it all adds up. And whether I am advising you on your dating profile, how to attract the right person, or how to show up in business, either way, when you show up as the best version of you, whether it's your dating profile or online or your business, you're actually stepping into that energy of like the best version of you. And that when you start from scarcity, my best advice is if you have nothing, you pick the very best thing you have and you start there. Like it's like if all you have is that one nice sweater, you wear it with pride and you continue to just dress for the woman that you're stepping into little by little by little, like go to Ross, get the prettiest thing that you can find there and just keep dressing for success and leveling up every single day. And you will eventually like feel like this person that's not an imposter because you already are her. You're not even acting as if you're being to the best of your capacity, whatever you can afford, whatever feels comfortable, your very best self. And it doesn't cost a lot to step into the best version of yourself. It's
Mhm.
just taking care of yourself the very best way you can. And when I look back on my career, it's like, oh, when I started taking myself seriously, every single day was the moment people took me seriously.
Mhm.
And it was so it was a just the way that I showed up. I don't know. I
Yeah.
hope this is landing and encouraging somebody.
I hope it's landing, and I'm sure it is. And I would just say if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't have anything, it's like even if you don't come from wealth, it doesn't mean that wealth can't come from you. Like that,
Oh, so
like And so, and also I think the power of where we're at in 2025, or if this is being shown in 2026, is yeah, show up, present how you want and try to attract the clientele, but it's also very powerful. People are making millions of dollars, in at home in their sweatsuits and things like that. There's an audience for everybody. But it's
Sure.
like, do you feel good of how you're showing up? If you're not feeling good how you're showing up, if you're not like some casual person, then like dress a little bit nicer, see what kind of people in a line of work or whatever that you attract. But it's going back. What I really love about you and your space is I can completely tell you're in your zone of genius. And it's just like if anybody who's thinking about starting a business, I think it's the Japanese term, what is it, ikigai? Do you know this? It's like what you love to do, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for, like
Yes.
for where you're at. And I just think that that's what you found and like what I'm working on as well. And if somebody hasn't heard that, I think it could be really powerful of like, what are you, because you mentioned it, what are your natural gifts? Go,
Yes.
because there's never been a time in history where it's been an easier time to make money like online. And as we are moving more into the age of AI and everything is more online, it's like also bringing in the human part of it, like the connections, like you're building your community is also going to be making people a lot of money too. Is like, how can we continue keeping the humanness in a world that is getting increasingly more separated?
Yes, yes. I absolutely agree, especially with what you're doing too, where like, yeah, people can find free information for dating coaching. They can find free information
Like,
online for finance, but having someone who holds you accountable, a real human, is not going to go away because you can talk to ChatGPT till you're blue in the face, but it will not solve your problems. It takes a human connection to keep you on track and your own drive. But to say what you said earlier about the like yeah, there's an audience for everybody, 100%. I have this friend, she's queer. She shows up in all of her video with her period blood on her face. Every video, half naked. That's her, that is her thing. So I'm not telling you you have to look a certain way, but you have to look a certain way for you. It's whatever it is for you. And showing up consistently and being like, this is who I am, world, and we're going for it. No matter what going for it looks like for you.
yeah, exactly. Yep, I agree. And then if you don't want to be a business owner, taking it back to the 9 to 5 is like, how are you showing up? How are you filling your own cup before you go into work every single day so that you're showing up better for yourself so you can get more promotions, so you can be paid more money, and then making sure you have your finances together so that you can, when you're working, you can put that money to travel or to your family or whatever lights you up. So what happens with a lot of people in 9 to 5? So I'm guessing you work with a lot of 9 to 5 women as well, right?
It's probably half and half. Women who own their own businesses, women who don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Is like burnout can happen a lot in 9 to 5 because we're kind of working for somebody else. So if you're not super lit up, then having a purpose for all this money that you're making of like, oh, this is the kind of life I want to live, that also really helps. So just making sure you're showing up for that.
So
Um,
true. So true. Sometimes I fantasize about a 9 to 5. Can I just be honest? Like I love what I do, but I'm like a tired girl.
like I just want someone to tell me what to do.
Just tell me
Also,
what to do. I'll be good at it.
this morning I woke up, I Pelotoned, I took my dog for a walk, I showered, I got ready for you. And I'm like, this has been a perfect morning. And yesterday I went for a run, I went to yoga. So I sometimes think of the 9 to 5, but I'm like I love owning my time kind of person. Like,
Yeah. Do you like work into the night or you've got your business down to where you only work a few hours a day?
I think it depends on what's going on, like what season of my business I'm in. If I'm in a launch period, I'm like grinding. I am like trying to do my sales. I'm trying to sell out my programs. One of my biggest, I guess, revenue generating program is my program called Rich Woman Academy. It's a
Ooh.
3-month hybrid program. So it's group/private coaching. We meet Tuesdays in the evening. So I sell that out. I have about 25 to 30 women in right now. And so when I'm launching that, I am like grinding, I'm making content. And right now I'm just entering month 2. So I'm not really selling it. I'm kind of just meeting with my clients. And so it's a bit more relaxed. But going into the new year for finance, that's my busiest time. So
Mm.
I'm like gonna start ramping up the content and stuff so I'm fresh of mind when everyone's like new year, new me. I want to work on my finances because it's a big period for me to, yeah. So it
Yeah, that makes sense.
depends. But right now I'm kind of in the regroup my energy after this big launch where I was just giving so much of myself kind of time and then get back into it.
I love
Yeah.
that for you. I love that you found balance. That is like a fantasy for me.
That's
I'm
what,
not.
yeah, someone's like complimented. She's like, she told me once, I always admired the balance that you have of like your business and then your like what you do in your life. Because I'm a huge traveler. And so for me, it's like I would love to grind in like November, December, January, February, March, just like that. But then the summer, I'm like out, I'm traveling, I'm like going to Pride events, I'm like doing all these things. I'm not worried about money because I made my money early on in the year. And then the fall, I refocus and started again. So that's kind of how I run my business and my energy. But it used to be all year round because I was building. Now it's kind of more established, so I can take
That
a
is
little.
beautiful. So beautiful. No, like I've gotten like I'll get some one part established and then I just like launch the next
You're
thing.
just like on to the next, yeah.
Yeah, like the capacity just keeps expanding. Yeah. But I love this. Like that is beautiful. That is ultimately the goal, truly. I just yeah,
Mhm.
I got to figure out. I think there's a part of me that just loves it too much and I'm like addicted
That's so good.
to yeah, and like every new love story we get in, like I'm like, okay, let's go make another one.
I
Like
really love that. Yeah.
yeah, it's
I
oh
always say, like, when you're in flow and you're making money, like, don't stop. Like, keep going at it. Because there might be a time where you're just like not as about it, or you want to take a break, and you totally can in the future. People are like, oh, work-life balance. I'm like, it doesn't exist sometimes. Sometimes you're just like full throttle because you're so into what you're doing. So when you're making money,
so
I'm
into it.
like, there have been times in my business where I've like pulled off the gas a little bit, and I was like, why did I do that? I was like in flow. I should have just kept going, while it was good and I was like so in it. So it's okay. Keep going. If you're in it, obviously it's for a reason. So just
Yeah,
keep.
I don't even think about the money part of it. Like me and my manager the other day were talking and we were just like, isn't like there's a tech fire to put out. Like there's some problem with the AI or whatever challenge we're overcoming that day. We're like, it's kind of funny because now like this started as like I hope we can make enough money to survive because left business coaching to
Mhm.
build something and I went backwards for a long time. Like Queer Country Club was a financial burden for me. Yeah, like it was very, very hard to keep it funded. Um, but now I don't think about that. We're just in a flow with our retreats and everything that we're doing. And it's like, I don't know. We look at each other like, how did we get here? Because now it's not about the money. We're thinking like, how many clients did we help this week? How many successful love stories did we have? Like, it's just a
And
different vibe. It's like
why
it's out of scarcity, right? It's like into just this
overflow?
flow. Yeah. Yeah, just a flow state of like I'm doing what I'm meant to do. Do you feel like you have like a spiritual calling on your life for what you're doing or you're not like into that?
It's called I mean in Hinduism it's called dharma. So it's like what's your life path? What are you meant to be doing? Like that's I feel like this is your dharma, this is my dharma. So yes, I would say I'm very woo-woo. But I think at the end of the day, for me it's like all about service. So you're touching on something that's really important. It's like what would you do even if you weren't getting paid for? But when you're doing that, that's actually when the money's gonna come. When you're living your purpose, like that's when you're not even thinking about the money. And then that's all of a sudden you're just like getting this influx of money because you're doing what your soul's purpose is here to do. So
Yeah.
yeah, Dharma.
How did you know when you found your dharma?
Um, I think I fell into it, which is something that people are like, I get a lot of questions from people in their early 20s, like, what should I do for work? I'm like, if you don't know what you want to do in your life, just in your 20s, make as much money as you can because you're going to figure out what you like, what you don't like. You're going to figure out what you want to do. And when you're ready to make that pivot, you better have the money to support that pivot. And like, but I think just like going, I, you know, I think your question was when did I find it? I mean, I didn't know that this is what I was going to be doing. I thought I'd be like, but I just knew when I was a recruiter, that's what was my career before. I was like, I cannot be a headhunter all the way into my 60s. And I was just so lit up by like helping women. And for me, money just made sense. Like it's just like so easy. When someone comes to me with like what's going on in their finances, I see so clearly the potential that they can have. So I know that this is like my skill. So but it wasn't something that I knew, for forever growing up. It kind of just happened.
Yeah. Okay, I have one more question for you. Now that you're dating and yeah, you're putting yourself out there, you've got a new connection. How soon do you talk about money? Because for
Oh,
me and
okay.
in Queer Country Club, we bring it up pretty fast because we go deep into like value driven conversations.
Yeah.
And yeah, financial values, political values, spiritual values, these are important things. How soon do you bring it up?
I bring it up, it comes up really fast for me because of the once they figure out what I do. So I don't have what I do on my dating profile, but it'll like come up in like the first dinner or at drinks or something. And then a lot of times it's kind of like when you meet a therapist and you're like, oh, you're a therapist, like, can you diagnose me? People will meet me and they're like, wait, what do I do with this really quick? And then so money comes up really quick. In general, even on the first dates, I've had people tell me how much that they're making. The current person I'm seeing, I don't know. I've like Googled, I'm like, how much does this position make? So I kind of, but like I don't think she's there, but I do know it'll come up. But historically, when I'm dating somebody who is more like into their career, it comes up really fast.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that. At least as a business owner, like with the other business owners I've dated, we've been so transparent with each other.
Yeah, I'm very transparent and like in the line of work I do, if you look me up, like I post my net worth on my Instagram page and stuff like that so people can see. I'm
Right.
an open book because that's what I do, you know? So,
Yeah, that makes so much sense. Yeah, in business coaching times when I was really raking in money, like I used my, monthly income or whatever. That's how you market,
that's how
right?
you
So you can show
market.
people what's possible for them.
Oh, I
Um,
know.
yeah, and then launching Queer Country Club, I lost all that. Like it was like handing away like these crazy successful months in exchange for passion, and it's been so worth it. But yeah, just totally different world.
Yeah, and I do that too, like energetically, like I'll post my numbers and I'll feel like some resistance to it, but I also know that it's so powerful to see for people to see what's possible. Like if
Mm.
they put a little bit of attention or focus into it and it's kind of like you said as a business coach, you posted your numbers. Like I follow so many business coaches, so I see like this kind of like how it works for marketing. But it's also it expands your mind of what's possible. For example, this girl who's in my space, this was maybe in 2021, she posted having a 40K month and I was still in corporate. I was like, $40,000. She's doing what I'm doing, 40,000. I was like, if she can do it, I can do it. You know, like what, why not? But if she hadn't posted that, I don't think I even would have known like, oh, we can have these crazy months, you know? So,
Yeah, I remember. So I felt absolutely in love, not physically, just
uh-huh.
I felt like God like led me to this one business mentor, and she'd sing this song, "If she can do it, I can do it, I can do it." I don't know if you
I
know.
know who you're talking about. I
Okay.
was a coach too.
Okay, she was my coach. And changed my life. Absolutely changed my life. I was in a relationship with the woman in the closet, and I might get emotional talking about it. It was really like I loved her so much, but she was never going to leave her lifestyle because of the man and the alimony that was involved. And
Mm.
he made multi-millions and she was getting a new Chanel bag once a month, right? And I remember just going, I'm gonna be the rich man, even if I don't get her. I'm gonna be the rich man because I never want someone not to choose me again because of money. Because I knew if he wasn't there, she would have chosen me. Now, that's not the kind of love I want. Let's be
Yeah.
let's be clear. We're way past that. That's not the kind of love I want anymore. I know what I deserve. I know it's out there now because I have access to the best. So it's like, damn, there's like some good-hearted women out there who would never think that way. But I found that mentor a month after I decided like I can't do this anymore with this woman. And in business coaching world, that was whenever I made the most amount of money I'd ever made in my life. And I had that 1 month that was just like I could have worked a whole year for this. And
Yeah.
it changed my whole perspective on everything. And I still sing that song. And whenever I see a woman doing more, having more, most importantly, now that I don't really think about money anymore, it's more of a I see someone and they have a glow in their eye, or like you have this freedom that I don't have yet because my business requires so much time. I have so many facets of it, and I'm building a large team. So, but when I see that freedom that you have, instead of any sense of jealousy, it's a if she can do it, I can do it. I can do it.
Mhm.
Like I'm gonna get there to that freedom again, but right now we're just in this growth phase that I cannot slow down. Like it's about helping as many women as I can
Yeah.
possibly in this moment. But yeah, if she can do it, I can do it. I can do it.
Are you going to Freedom Queen Live?
I'm not going again. I went last year.
Oh, did you? I was there. That's
Stop.
crazy. Yeah, that's so funny. Wow.
Oh my God. Like, I don't know how you didn't see me because I walked around like in a huge red dress and told everyone I was the founder of the Queer Country Club.
No,
And
that is actually insane. Yeah. Wow. That's so funny. We were literally in the same space. Yeah.
oh my gosh, were you single?
I was single, yes.
Damn, I missed my chance.
LOL. Yeah, I love her.
Oh, love her so much. And she's so polarizing, and people either love her or hate her. And what I love is like she's so unapologetic. And there may be things I disagree on with her 100%. But what I find really interesting is the smartest people in the world, the most successful and the most happy people in the world can hold the nuance of somebody and not like judge them just because they don't believe the way I do about every single thing. And yeah, so yeah, people either love her or hate her, but that woman changed my life. I used to tell her, I don't even go to the calls anymore, but I tithe to you. Like I would just keep paying.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, that's so funny.
All I need is like to listen to one of her podcasts, and I'm like,
And you come
okay.
back to the zone. Yeah, I feel that.
Oh, I could just sense it in you. I could sense the Freedom Queen.
Yeah. Um, but I love what you're doing. I think it's so cool. So keep at it. And I am excited to see all your success stories and everything. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, if anyone's listening who wants to see, go like look at my highlights on Instagram or TikTok, and you could see where women have found love and connected so quickly, whether that's through private matchmaking or that's through the Queer Country Club or coming on the retreat. We usually have
Mhm.
historically had one couple connect on every single retreat, and out of those, so far, two out of the three are still in lasting, healthy
Oh,
relationships. So
where's your retreat at this year or
the
next?
luxurious Canyon Ranch in
Where's that?
Tucson, Arizona.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, do
Cool.
you host retreats in person or is this not it? Okay.
I haven't done a retreat. I think it's a mindset block of like, oh, well, people show up, you know? Like I'm still working through my own things too, but I also like I love a very chill business of like, you know, so I'm like, okay, if I host that, will it add a lot? But
It
I
adds a lot.
yeah, I
Just,
would add a lot. And I kind of like you'll get to know like I'm very much like, okay, make my money and then go like live my life. Like that's how I kind of run my business.
yeah,
If there was something in LA, like I would love to be a part of one, but I don't know if I particularly want to host one. You know, like I would
totally.
a
Yeah.
money, like a wellness money kind of holistic something here. It's like maybe I teach finance or yoga in the morning and then we have like business, like women come in and then I teach some finance stuff. But again, I don't know that I'd want to host it.
Totally makes sense. I will say hosting retreats for my attendees, they leave so relaxed and like in love with themselves and possibly someone else. But for me, when I come home, because I'm like a introverted or extroverted introvert, like when I come home, I need like 4 days to like
Awesome.
twitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like, yeah. So I was doing one a quarter now this coming year. Like,
Wow.
we haven't fully put one on the books yet. If you're interested, I'm really excited because I know the potential and what happens at these retreats. It's magical, and that's why I keep doing it, even though they
Yeah.
tire me out. Um, you will be the most refreshed you've ever been in your life. But I'm like beyond just facilitating, I'm like matchmaking behind the scenes. So it's like
So
a
cute.
lot of mental.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're interested, DM retreat and I'll put you on the wait list if I do one in 2026. What's coming up in 2026 for you that if someone's like curious about working with you, how could they get on the wait list? Like if this comes out in January.
So I have the next round of Rich Woman Academy does start in January.
Okay.
But it's and so that is like it's my most hands-on program. It's such a special place and space for women to just like talk about money and not feel alone and be like and the people who come into that program, they're always so amazing. So you're in just like such good company. If you prefer private coaching, maybe you're a couple and you just want to work with your partner, I do private coaching as well. So those are probably my two. And private coaching is, I usually work with clients in 3 month spaces because that's what takes you to like learn, implement, get support, build the habits, and like make lasting changes and like get that accountability. So either private coaching or Rich Woman Academy would be the best private coaching, we can start anytime. The academy starts in January.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. So they can reach out to you anytime and inquire
Yeah,
about private coaching. Okay.
exactly. You get a call just like this on Zoom, and then we just chat and see what's the best fit.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell that like your love for what you're doing and how you're helping women is so genuine. If you are queer and you need someone to help coach you with your money, wherever you're at in your journey, but if you've got a lot and you don't know what to do with it, Haley is the woman for the job. So DM her, ask about her private coaching, and thank you so much for being here and being vulnerable and sharing your heart. And I wish you the very best in this new connection. Like, that's so exciting.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for having me. This was so fun. We had a great time. I'm sure we'll connect again in the future.
Thank you for being here, Haley. You've been such a blessing.
Thank you.
Bye.